So I thought we would do a series about essentially creating the world we want, not by going out and doing, but by being, more or less, or by visualizing, or by the radiance of our own presence. And to begin that, I want to discuss an idea which is very familiar to most of you, I'm sure, which is that God is within you. If you can get that, I think you're going to be more prepared to actually use that power, the power that is within you, to create something without actually using your hands to do it. And so if you can think about this, that the omnipresence of God is everywhere, and therefore it must be here as well. It must be in this as well as it is in everything else. It must be in me like it is in Jesus. This presence is being made manifest through us all the time. And while it doesn't always look that pretty, and we don't always act perfectly loving and divinely inspired, I'm sure, its effort to come through and be us seems to be constant. And it is our habits, our way of thinking, our humanness, really, that often takes us astray from this presence. But if we turn our minds toward it and we ask for its awareness within us, its activity to shine through us, and its wisdom to guide us, then we often feel it. When our desire to know the divine, to express the divine, to be wholly committed and loving in our actions, to be as the divine would be if it were made manifest, the divine finds us. We don't have to find it. Intent to have this connection, to express this holiness, the Christ presence of us, to actually become the Christ in our own lives. To do that, we set that as an intent, and then we do whatever it takes for us to feel the inspiration, reading, praying, meditating. And then I think what we're really looking for is a way to find expression to that. And that's what the game we will play as we spend this time in our social distancing. That without actually touching someone, without necessarily going out into the world and traveling and all that we begin to influence the world around us. We need to be happy and joyous because the world has enough serious, heavy things going on. Let us practice doing whatever we're doing with exuberance and joy that comes from being like a child of God. And I think the second thing we need to do is add to this the idea that we can draw from the divine ideas and inspiration of what we should be doing. We could distill the ideas that come to us through wisdom to know that are these really the good idea? Is this the thing we should be doing? Is it the right thing? Because we can ask for wisdom around this. And we can wait and listen. So once you've decided what it is, let's see if we can figure out ways to make it come about. And I want to talk about the first and perhaps the biggest and maybe the most simple and yet the most complete way to do it. The radiance of our own being, I think, influences everything around us all the time without us having to say anything about it. So the nature of your being, the nature of your character, your soul sense, that puts out a vibration out into the world. Essence sends out a vibration into the world. And what the interesting thing about that is that typically you can get some hints about what your soul expression is about by the way the world looks back at you. So if you see a lot of angry people, or people seem to be treating you badly, or you are irritated all the time with what other people are doing, you just might want to check and see, is that me? Is that me am I the source of this experience, or is the world the source of this experience? If they are treating you with love and respect, there's a really good chance that you're emanating love and respect. And so I want to say, probably the most powerful creator that you can do is to adjust your own mind and soul And to do that, it is, as St. Paul would say, if there's something beautiful to think about, if there's something lovely, if there's something gracious to think about those things. Rather than think about the hurts and the feelings, how your feelings have been hurt, rather than holding grudges, rather than being unforgiving, to do all the work it takes to let your vibration be about love and respect for others and for yourself. This is holy work and work worthy of our time and attention. So if we are really good at this, we will begin to drop those vibratory aspects of ourselves which repulse, which bring unpleasant echoes back, and begin to open to the more beautiful aspects of ourselves. Those that are about love and about caring, that are about joy and giving, those that are about sensitivity to the needs of others, and also about creativity. And I think what we'll be sending out is a vibration into the world, which will of course echo back to us and reinforce our own experience, but it will begin to shape the world around us. And that the world around us will begin to look and feel more happy and joyous. And those who come into the sphere of your influence will be blessed by what they get there, because they will feel this dynamic energy, this energy of love and happiness. If we will practice this vibratory change, I think what we'll do is be creating a space for the next thing which I want you to contemplate doing, which is a visualization. First, clarify. Clarify what your intent. And to be really clear about it, I think it's important that we write it down. So the manifest world now has one statement from you that says, I want this. And then we begin to consciously see that, to build it up in our imagination, and not from the human level, but let the divine kind of work through you. And realize as you're doing this that the divine has a desire to create and to become. That's how the whole universe happened anyway. It's how a multiplicity of life has happened. It's how you have come into expression, that the divine wants to be made manifest. You see that picture with as much detail, and then you begin to add feeling to it. This is important, that you add the feeling of it happening and joy and happiness around it. That you are filled with the sense of accomplishment, of happiness from the expression. You feel that, you add feeling to it, so you have written it, you have seen it, and now you add feeling to it. And as you do so, you charge it with the energy it takes to create shape out of this ever-expressing divine which is flowing through you.